Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to the Stevie Show. As always, I'm Steve Bertarelli. It's so nice to see you. And I have a very special guest. I've always wanted to have this woman on my show for such a long time. We've known each other for years. She has this wonderful organization called Katie Connection. So please say hello to Marie Mazzio. Hi, Marie.
Hi,
It's
Steve. It's
so
so
good.
good being
I've
here, like
wanted you on
old
my show.
times.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
was going to have you on my show a few years ago before the station went off the air, but I'm so glad to have you here.
And I'm happy to be here. It's
I'm
like
so
old
great.
times.
I know we haven't spoken in a while. It's so good. Maria, I always wanted to ask you this. Can you tell me a little bit about Kitty Connection? A majority of Medford knows what it is, but how did you get started doing it? What
Well, all
was
my life I've always liked animals. So, and it just seemed like every animal in need found me. Um, and even strays, I would find homes for them or whatever. Years later, I ended up one time coming in contact with Claire, Melrose Humane, God rest her soul. And for 10 years, every time I'd find somebody, she'd help me, get low cost if there was a hurt cat, and connect people to me if I found kittens or cats to find them homes. And after 10 years of just, finding a cat and needing to find it a home or getting it medical, they had no space. I found some kittens, and she said, could you foster? So that became my first experience with officially volunteering with an animal rescue.
now how long? So
I was with Melrose Humane for probably about 5 years, and then I left and, worked with other different groups off and on, and helping and getting involved with trap, neuter, and return. There's free clinics that they had. And then I started helping Laura Burns when I was bringing a cat into the vet. She had hubcats in Boston, and I started working with her, helping her, volunteering. And she said, I'm going to be leaving Massachusetts, why don't you start your own organization? And I thought, oh my God. She's like, oh, I'll help you. And pretty much, it's like you're doing that all along. So other than all of the paperwork, the rescue was still a piece of cake.
wow, that's amazing. Now, is it just cats, or do you have other animals?
We don't discriminate. Okay, so if we get wildlife calls, we'll connect. We'll connect to the Audubon, different places that take the wildlife. We do dogs too, but we're very limited on what we do for dogs. Dogs are rescue dogs because they come into organizations with a lot of baggage, and you need more than a typical pet owner to really be able to handle some of these dogs. So our main animal that we do are cats. But last year we did a big. I'm going on a year that we did a big domestic rat rescue. Yeah.
Domestic rat?
Yes, yes. And the old Aggie school out in Danvers helped
Yeah.
us, and they separated males from females, and it was about like 20 something, and one of them had babies.
Oh,
Yes. So we had a lot of rats. Many got adopted, and then we worked. MSPCA took some in, and I actually found a rodent rescue,
really? I mean,
and they took.
because when you think of rats, you don't think of as a pet, though. I mean, what the
Well, a lot of times, when you're out there and you're dealing in communities,
Yeah.
you run into a lot of people that hoard not only
cats,
materials, but
materials.
when you're going into hoarding of animals, a lot of times it can be any number of animals that people will have besides cats, dogs.
Now, you speak of hoarders. Have you ever had, without giving any names, you had to deal with any people who were hoarders with their cats, so that you?
Oh yeah, we've had, actually, we had two big situations in Medford. The first one, I think, was involved 35, and then we had another one that involved 55
35 cats.
35 cats.
Oh
Yep.
my.
The mother cats, there were 4 mother cats nursing kittens that were anywhere from 4 weeks to 8 weeks old, and 2 of the mother cats were already pregnant again.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Man, so now What's this? What's the rate? I mean, like, are cats more easy to have adopted, or are they, or is there like?
It depends. There's a season. Everybody's always looking for kittens, but I'm really happy to say, Steve, that we've really seen an impact in all the work that's been done in Medford. We don't get the number of kitten calls and stray calls that we used to get. So that's good that numbers are down. Even we're seeing it with a lot, right now we're not in kitten season, and people are going all over the place and can't find kittens, and it's just stragglers that you get because there's still people that don't spay neuter their pets that are inside.
That's what Bob Barker was famous
Yeah.
for. Help control the pet population.
Yeah.
Have your pet spayed or neutered.
And you really should, because so many die, and it's really, they're put down for overpopulation. And I mean, there's a lot of places that put them down. If a cat or a dog is put in a crate and they have cage raids, liability. Today, everybody's worried about liabilities. Everybody, if they get hurt, wants to sue.
I'm sorry. What is cage rage? You said?
Yeah. So cats, like we had this one cat even just recently. I was going to take her, but I thought, because when we had her, we put her in a crate to introduce them into a bigger room, let them get used to new smells and stuff. And oh my goodness, I mean, she was just, very, very like aggressive from fear.
Wow.
And I had to get her into a crate. And what I did is I brought her into one of the rooms that she would be the only one, but not have to be in a crate. She could be just out in an open room. And,
Is it because they're so used to being in a cage? Is that
no,
why
it's because they're not. So picture if somebody came in here, somebody calls and says, hey, we need to remove Steve and we need to find Steve a home, and somebody comes in and puts you in a big crate. You'd be like, what am I doing in here?
Yeah.
So we have hands that we can grab onto a bar and a voice that we can say, get me out of here, get me out of here.
Oh.
But animals, they only have barking or meowing or hissing that scares people away.
Now, you talked about spayed and neutered. You're not a fan, like, you don't like it when cats get declawed?
Oh no, that's like maiming, almost like you cutting your fingers off to your knuckle. It's amazing. We were successful with having them stop devocalization, which is cutting the vocal cords of dogs and cats.
Could they do that?
Yep. That was
I didn't
very,
know
very
that.
big. Yep. And then they, now there's lots of vets that are still declawing cats. And it's really sad because some institutions like assisted living facilities, they want the cats to be declawed if the person is going to take their pet with them. And it's disgusting. It should be banned.
Yeah, too. I noticed, like, when a majority of the people who want to adopt cats, they always want to adopt kittens.
Yeah.
Do you have a hard time, like, getting regular grown-sized cats to be
No,
adopted?
because there's really, there's somebody for everybody. When I first started in animal rescue, and I think, oh my God, who's going to want to adopt this cat? It has feline leukemia, or it has, our oldest cat was 20 years old that we actually
20?
got
Really?
adopted. Yes, yes. And a lot of times people really have to be responsible pet owners even when they're looking for their pets. It's like I work with older adults, and everybody wants kittens, but we're not going to live forever. And what happens is when somebody passes away or they become sick and they can't take care of a cat, if they haven't prepared who's going to take this cat when I pass away, you have these cats that are 10 years old that lose their homes because their owner passes away. So a lot of times it's just being realistic. I mean, I have no idea. A lot of times when people come, and we changed it from adoption volunteers to adoption counselors, because the goal is to really work with somebody to make sure that they're picking the right fit for them.
I understand that. We have two cats here right now. They're
Yeah.
full-grown cats, and we like, if it's all right with you, we like to. They're up for adoption.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
We're gonna bring them out here. I hope they don't.
I think
run away.
Kathy is going to be our first one.
Kathy is going to be the first one. Okay.
And it's sad.
We have Erin assisting us here, and thank you, Erin, for helping us.
Erin's one of our new volunteers with Kitty Connection. She started, when did you start, Erin? I think it was this part. Yeah.
She started
Yeah.
a couple of months
Yep.
ago. She doesn't have a mic, so
late
we
fall.
can't.
Oh yes, late fall. Late fall. And so let me tell you something about Kathy. Really sad because Kathy's owner bred her and her brother.
Yeah.
And they had another cat, and she's 10 years old, and now Kathy was surrendered. He didn't want her anymore, and he decided to put her up for adoption.
Oh, okay.
And sad because she had a brother,
Oh.
and her and her brother, and there was a third cat, they all got separated from each other.
Now, how old is Kathy?
Kathy's 10. And that's a
10?
nice age. Cats, one of our volunteers just lost her cat, who's 26. She was 26 years old. So cats can live to be into their 20s. If you take them to the vet and you take care of them and, you give them the proper foods, definitely. They can live a long life. It's all about good genes, just the same way people live today. It works the same way with animals.
Have you ever rescued any cats that were abused in any way? Or?
Oh yeah, there's I have this dog right now that I'm fostering that I got from an animal control officer down in the Seekonk area, and I've had him going on. It's going to be 3 years, Steve. Yeah.
3 years. Oh
And
my.
it's so hard because, whatever had happened to him, it's almost like him having post-traumatic stress.
Yeah. Erin's having a hard time getting.
Here, why don't
Kathy
you bring
out.
her over and I can take her out?
Oh, wait, here she comes.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Now, this is Kathy, right?
Oh, this is Kathy, and Kathy's 10-year-old. Hey, Kathy. Yes.
Oh, my.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what kind of cat is she?
She's a tortoiseshell.
A tortoiseshell?
Yeah.
Look at that face. Look
She
at that
is. She's
face.
and she's actually a torby because not only is she a tortie, which is the darker browns and red, but she also has the tiger stripes, which makes her very
She looks like a tiger.
distinct. Yeah,
Distinct.
very pretty, and she's really sweet. She's a lap cat. She'll sit in your lap, and if you sit on the floor next to her, she'll like snuggle up near you. And this is what's nice with the older cats, Steve,
Yeah.
is a lot. I just had somebody wants to adopt a kitten, and they said, can I know if this kitten's going to be snuggly and lovable when it grows up? And I said, kittens are just like kids. We hope they grow up to be what we want them to be, but sometimes that doesn't happen. But with adult cats, if you said, Marie, I want a cat that's going to sit on my lap, that's lovable, gets along with other cats, might be good with my grandkids when they come over, I'd be able to say, well, Kathy would be a really good fit.
Yeah, she.
And she's really sweet, yeah.
So
And
Kathy,
of course she's really good because to be able to come and be on the show, it has to be a kitty. It's kind of scary, but
yeah,
she's doing really good.
I mean, yeah. So
And they shed more when they're nervous.
yeah, I can tell. So Kathy is up for adoption.
Yes, she's 10 years old. She's very sweet, very sweet, and she's good with other cats.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's healthy, and she still has a lot more years to go.
Now, does it depend, like, when you get a cat as a kitten, right? Depends on how you raise it. If you're loving and nurturing towards it, it'll be like that as an
No,
adult
because
cat?
again, it's all about genes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember, most of the time, we don't know who the father is because it's mostly the mothers that we get. In some instances, people might surrender the mother and father of the kittens. But a lot of times, most people don't realize that brothers and sisters are mating, mothers and sons are mating, sisters and brothers are mating. So that all has effects on, so if it's just like dogs. If a mother and a father dog have aggressive genes, you're going to have aggressive puppies.
Oh,
So a lot of that's why even on our contracts, it's no representation because we don't have histories. A lot of times people are afraid of the herpesvirus and, hey, you good girl, yes. And that herpesvirus usually comes because a cat has had a upper respiratory infection.
Oh.
And so a lot of times, we might have a cat that has conjunctivitis, which is caused from the herpesvirus, and people will say, "Oh my God, can my cat get it?" Yeah, but it's very common that cats could have a herpesvirus, and just because you don't have a cat that might have its eye oozing or whatever, we don't know if it's ever had the herpesvirus because did it ever in its life have an upper respiratory infection, conjunctivitis?
You mentioned that you called it feline leukemia. I mean, is that something that they're born with, or is that something they catch?
Sometimes they can catch it. So outdoor cats, and that's why today we encourage people to keep their cats indoors, because there's just so many diseases out there. But you can vaccinate your cats against feline leukemia, and it's a blood disease in felines, and there's also feline AIDS, and we don't have a vaccination for feline AIDS. The Eastern Coast has a different strain from the West Coast. Yes. I think she might have had it, and we'll show our other little kitty.
Let's show. Thank you for showing us. Bye, Kathy.
Bye,
Take
Kathy.
care. I want to hold one before this night is
Sure.
over. I gotta hold one.
I think next Molly
one.
might.
Can I hold the next one?
Yeah, you can,
definitely.
Steve.
What's her name?
Molly.
Marley.
And Molly's story is just really sad, and we can as a society change what happened to Molly. Very sad situation. We got a call. One of the volunteers called me and said, the guy is, out in front of your house. He has his cat in the car, and the landlord told him that the cat had to go. And he said, well, where do you want her to go? I have no place I can take her. And he said, I don't care. You can throw her out in the street, but she's not staying here another minute. Wow. And he had to get her, put her in his car. And these are sad stories because, there's laws against cruelty to animals.
Yeah. And I remember a story about a dog that was so physically abused. I mean, it was so bad. I mean, they had to put the poor dog to sleep. But I mean, the guy who did it, I mean, I heard he got like 15, 20 years in jail from what I understand.
Yeah.
Because the dog was so badly mangled. I mean, the guy just tore up in his mouth. Everything was. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad things that happen out there to animals.
I hate animal cruelty.
But again, there's any type of abuse to an animal is cruelty, and putting a domestic cat telling somebody that they have to throw it outside. Is because again, what happens if you're dealing with somebody that doesn't know better, and they did put her outside. What would happen to her?
Oh, man.
They're defenseless, and he was just heartbroken, and this is how we got her, and she'll look for a home.
So that's what Kitty Connection mostly does. If someone is looking to get rid of their pets, because whether it be they can't keep them anymore, you come in and
we do surrenders. We do, stray cats that are outside. People call us for help. We help with low-cost spaying and neutering. So anybody, if they need to get their pets spayed or neutered, there are lots of programs out there. The Catmobile goes around to different communities.
Can you talk about that, the Catmobile?
Yeah, it's too bad because they used to have two vehicles, and they used to come into Malden, Medfit, Everett, and now one of them broke down, so they're only able to service certain communities. But the good thing is that they actually go to Woburn, which is still close enough for any people in this area that need to get their cats spayed or neutered.
Oh.
There are certain restrictions. There's age restrictions, but there's a lot out there. At work, somebody called me, and I know that the guy says, try calling the Catmobile. They have, I think that if you get food stamps, if you live in subsidized housing, certain cities have discounts too. And some cats can be spayed and neutered for just $20.
That's all it costs?
Just $20.
Wow.
If there's a special grant, it could be $25, it could be $40, but even to get your cat spayed and vaccinated and examined for $40 or $50 is really cheap.
I think they're having a hard time.
Here, bring her over to me.
Bring the whole cage over. I can't get her out. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm so used to getting them out. Okay, so this is
This is Marley.
Molly. Come on, Mal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's scared. That's okay.
okay.
Just balance that. I know.
whoa,
Yep.
whoa.
Nope. She's going to be. But look how pretty she is. She
let's-
sat in there too long. Maybe she'll
Yeah.
come walking out to us. Hey, Molly.
Oh,
Come on. Come on out and say hi.
oh my goodness.
Steve wants to hold you. Can he hold you?
Yeah. Well, she's beautiful.
She really
I love
is.
Her, love her.
Yeah.
Now, how old is she?
And she's a calabi. She's just 2 years old.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah. Can Steve hold you,
Can I
sweetheart?
hold you?
Yeah.
Please don't scratch me. Okay. Oh my God. Oh.
Isn't she cute?
Oh my.
Okay.
Okay. Easy. Easy. Easy.
Yeah. Look
Oh
at
my
you.
God.
You're, pretty,
Oh,
well,
well,
you're holding her wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
So
So
she's
I'm used to holding kittens, not big cats like this. I don't want her to scratch.
isn't she pretty?
Oh
though?
my goodness.
Okay, Mom.
So she's only 2 years old, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and she would have been out in the streets if that guy didn't try to find us because he had no idea. And it was so sad because he put her in his car. He had no intentions of just dumping her in the street.
Oh, no.
And she's exotic too, looking
oh, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
she's a calico
Why didn't you told her right? Ow.
with tabby
Ow, ow.
markings.
Oh boy.
Hey, baby.
Oh.
So you see these pretty tabby markings on
Yeah.
the calico? So she's a calabi. So we had a torby and a calabi. Okay, baby. She'll be happy to go back in there.
Yeah.
And look at all the fur we wear.
Oh, I know.
It's so
Oh,
funny. It's like,
no,
yeah.
it's funny. Like I said, well, when we did remember when we did the, what was it, the telethon?
Oh,
the
that was
kitty-thon?
awesome. Yeah, the
That-
adopt-a-thon.
Don, I mean, I'm holding those little
All
kitties.
day.
I didn't want to let go of the
I
cat
know.
because I love them so much.
I know.
Yeah.
So
That
funny.
cat
That
didn't
was-
like me.
No, they're nervous. They're nervous. They really did good, and they've been waiting a little
Yeah, I
bit.
know. I mean,
so.
I guess when you're in the cage
They go
so
through a
long,
lot,
they go
yeah.
through a lot. So,
Yeah.
Listen, Marie, tell me how people can get in touch with you about Kitty Connection.
Yes, so we have adoptions usually on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And usually you can go on our website, www.kittyconnection.net, and see what foster home, or we get invited sometimes to different locations to have some of our adoption events. And you can make private appointments. Kitty Connection is a 501c3. We do accept donations of any kind, food, litter, monetary donations.
Oh, really?
And
Are you non-for-profit?
yeah, 501c3. And so, you could, our number is 781-393-9995. You can make private appointments and go to our different foster homes to meet some of the cats. All the different cats and a few of the dogs that we have are all on our website.
What? That's terrific.
Yeah.
We still have a few minutes left. Is there any other interesting stories you want to talk about in terms of like adoption stories or
Yeah,
anything?
I mean, even some special stories. I mean, I think some of our successful matches are incredible. I think of Rob, who was a veteran, and he needed a service dog, and I worked with a local shelter. There was a dog that wasn't doing good there, and I thought I asked them if he could be a candidate to be a service dog. And a dog trainer that we work with met the dog and put him in some training, and we gave the dog to the veteran, and it turned out to be a perfect match.
Wow.
That's like one of my really, I mean, to me, I couldn't win Megabucks. A big pot wouldn't have been as rewarding as seeing this match, and it was unreal because just a few months ago he came to visit me, and I didn't even recognize him. No, I said, "Oh, you look familiar," but he was just. The dog had just turned his life around, and he was like, "Thank you for giving me my life back," and I was like, the dog gave you your life back. It's just incredible.
What kind of dog was it?
Believe it or not, it was a pit bull boxer mix.
A pit bull. I
Yeah,
mean,
and in the beginning he
pit
got.
bulls have a really
And there's
bad-
really no such thing as a pit bull because that's just a slang word. They're either it's a Staffordshire Terrier or an American, I forget, But yeah, I mean it's just a slang that they give the dog because of the type of look that looks like that breed.
Oh.
So it's a slang word and it categorizes many dogs because years ago we used to call them mutts.
Mutts.
Okay, so a lot of these dogs, because they could have one of these pit bull breeds in them, it's just a slang that they get pit bull.
I see. No, because I see people can bring service dogs pretty much everywhere. I mean, you see restaurants that say like no pets allowed, but if you have a service dog, they let them come in.
If they're a service dog. And they're actually cracking down on that a little bit too because some people have been abusing it.
Yeah, I know. Marie, I want to thank you so much for being here. I always wanted to have you on my show.
Thank
the
you,
cats,
Steve.
Marley and Kathy.
Yeah.
Marley didn't like me too much, but I mean, but like I said, it's if you are interested in adopting one of these beautiful cats, go to kittyconnection.net. And what's the number again?
781-393-9995.
Yep, and we'll have the info up at the end of the credits for you. And thank you so much. I want to thank Marie Mazzio. And Aaron, why don't you come up here and just let the people know who you are. We want to thank Marie's assistant, Aaron. And, sometimes those cats didn't want to come out.
I think they were nervous. I think they knew that they were going to be movie stars today. So I think that they got, what is that, wet feet or something when you're nervous?
Cold feet?
Cold feet. I think they had cold feet.
Hey, thank you, Aaron.
Yes, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for you. And I want to thank Marie. I want to thank Arthur and the cast, crew here at Medford Community Media. Thank you very much for watching. We hope to see you next time. Have a good day.